Okay, folks, welcome back to our finals for the game that will determine who is third and fourth place between TZ111 and Mr.Timeleap. Both are playing a Royal Paladin deck, so we're closing it off with a mirror match. Both players are going to mulligan. TZ111 taking the first move, but looks like Mr. Timeleap has forgot to turn off a few options. Oh, and it looks like TZ111 rode into K. Mr. Timeleap going into Little Sage Marin. Now, is he going to damage an eye during this game? Debating what to do. And he is indeed going to deny TZ11 of the first damage, meaning he cannot use Wingle Brave at this time. However, little did Mr. Timeleap know he did make a good move. It does not look like TZ111 has the Majesty Lord Blaster. So unlike his opponent, TZ is actually going for the first attack. Which means if Mr. Timeleap rides into a blaster and boosts with Wingle Brave, if the attack hits, he can use his skill now. Oh, and Mr. Timeleap decides to ride Bedivere instead. Going for the attack now. No trigger. And no trigger on TZ side either. TZ weighing his options now. Does he want to stay on grade 2 or ride a Gancelot? Probably be better if he did not ride. That way he now can search for Majesty Lord Blaster. Oh, and he looks like he's not riding. But he is sending his Gancelot back to get a heal trigger, fetching out the Blaster Blade. But that's just another heal trigger back in his deck that might have healed out that counterblast he needs. A little risky play, but it does pay off. However, unfortunately, Mr. Timeleap did get a heal trigger too, so the only thing TZ's getting out of this is a Majesty Lord Blaster, which I'm pretty sure was his goal anyway. Mr. Timeleap not wasting any time and going into Majesty Lord Blaster. And it looks like he is trying to go for 3 attacks to the Vanguard. However, because TZ does have that Sentinel in his hand, Majesty Lord Blaster's attack is not going to hit. And with that draw trigger, TZ now does have 9 cards in hand, which means the next card he draws is going straight to the drop zone. But looking at his hand right now, it's pretty set up, so I don't think he needs anything. Nope, never mind. I forgot about that Sentinel. He now gets to draw that card. And that outfit he drew, might come in handy later if he needs boosters. TZ sending back the Gancelot for another Blaster Blade. Now he has, I believe, all 4 of his heals in his deck. Interesting move, going for 2 attacks, one being from Blaster Dark. He does get a draw trigger, however, because he had 2 damage, Majesty Lord Blaster's attack will still hit, because it does not put him at lethal or close to lethal yet. Two draw triggers in a row. Getting a star card, Trumpeter, and the Little Sage Marin. Oh, Mr. Timeleap gets another heal trigger, putting him at 3 damage. Okay, look at Mr. Timeleap's hand. He doesn't have any interceptors, however, he does have 2 sentinels that will come in handy against TZ's Majesty Lord Blaster attacks. And unfortunately, TZ did not have a sentinel. Oh look, there's a sentinel. So he is going to be put to 5 damage. Mr. Timeleap using his skill to... Oh, choosing a Blaster Blade. And unfortunately, because of no sentinels, TZ does have to hope on a heal trigger, which that is not it. That was a Bedivere, so that means game 1 does go to Mr. Timeleap. Mr. Timeleap is in the lead with a 1-0 score right now in this final match of the tournament. Okay, it looks like TZ is going first again. Okay, opening hand from Mr. Timeleap is pretty good. He's missing a blaster, but he can get it with Gancelot. Oh, I'm sorry. I mean, he's missing a grade 2, but he can get it back with Gancelot. TZ playing Lake Mid Lien and then activating it, discarding a Lien, and drawing that Bedivere. Mr. Timeleap going for the same Lake Maiden Lien. And it does look like he's going to try damage denying TZ, discarding a Majesty Lord Blaster. And he is also going to use that Gancelot to get that much needed grade 2 into his hand. TZ not wasting time going for an attack. Not going to damage deny him this time. However, Mr. Timeleap is still missing both Blaster Blade and Blaster Dark. He can get one from Wingle Brace skill. However, he still needs to get the other one either through a draw trigger or through drawing it naturally. He is going for the Blaster Dark because in his deck he can search for the Blaster Blade through Gancelot. However, he has to draw into the Blaster Dark or use Wingle Brave. So it makes more sense to grab the Blaster Dark. And TZ riding Majesty Lord Blaster and searching out his missing Blaster Blade with Gancelot. Sending a heal back now so that he can heal so he can hopefully heal one of the damages he has right now. He also has the Miru Biru. There it is, Mr. Timeleap does get a heal trigger, but it doesn't go off because he only had 1 damage. TZ now has to attack the K. Oh, he is using the Mirror Guru. Hopefully it was worth it to him, having that make him in again. Oh, and there's a heal. Possibly the one he sent back to heal him down to 1 damage. Things are not really looking that good for Mr. Timeleap, as he's still missing the Blaster Blade. TZ thinking about what to get with his wing goal, and he chose to get Blaster Blade. Mr. Timeleap does have the Alfred early now, but unfortunately because he doesn't have another Majesty Lord Blaster in his hand, he doesn't have the luxury of trying to ride the Alfred early and then the next turn re-riding into Majesty Lord Blaster. So that's a little unfortunate. TZ playing the Blaster Blade but not activating the skill. I might have kept it in my hand if I were TZ to save for an Interceptor. Especially since I'm at 3 I would have been at he's at 3 damage with a Sentinel, so he's not in much danger of losing right now. TZ getting that heal trigger, however, because he had 3 damage, is not going to heal any damage. And he's also going to get denied by the Sentinel. Ooh, and there goes another Sentinel. Fortunately, Mr. Timeleap doesn't have the Blaster Blade, so he might have to... Never mind, he's going to try to survive the best he can, maybe hope for a heal trigger. Like that one. There goes 1 heal. I think he has 1 left in his deck. And never mind, there is the 4th heal trigger, bringing him to 3 damage now. Teasing the draw trigger. Mr. Timeleap not having a Sentinel. This could be... Looks like we are moving on to game 3 in that case, considering Mr. Timeleap no longer has any heal triggers, and it is pretty possible that for TZ to do 3 damage right now, unless Mr. Timeleap gets a damage trigger, which he does not. And there it is, Bedivere for the 6th damage. And we will be moving on to the 3rd game. Well folks, we are moving into game 3. It's 1-1 right now. Winner of this next game determines who is 3rd place. And it looks like TZ111 is going first. Oh, Mr. Timeleap choosing to keep his hand while TZ is going to redraw one card.
Vanguard.
TZ going into Lake Min and Lien again. Oh, it's discarding his extra copy of Magisaur Blaster. Only to get a second one. Mr. Timeleap also going to Lake Min and Lien. Is he also going to go for the damage denial strategy this time? His hand's actually pretty solid right now. I don't think he needs to. So he's not using Lake Maiden Lien's skill, however he is damage denying TZ111. TZ riding his Trumpeter. And also damage denying again. Oh, risky move. If TZ does get a trigger, he's gonna have a hard time hitting. But not in this case because TZ did not get a trigger. But he does get a heal trigger, so he does heal 1 damage, bringing him back to 1 damage instead of 2. He's using Ganslot to grab his Blaster Blade. He's also going to call his Blaster Blade. TZ111 is going to capitalize on having 2 extra attacks right now. One going for the K, one to the Vanguard, and a second attack to the Vanguard. Oh, a draw trigger into a Sentinel for Mr. Timeleap. TZ using his Lingo Brave skill to grab the Blaster Blade. Mr. Timeleap going for 2 Ganslots to grab his Blaster Blades. And he will call a Palamedes to attack. Okay, no damage triggered there. And there is a heal trigger. Defensive draw trigger and a Bedivere. TZ calling a Lake Mid in Lien. And activating a skill, discarding the extra Majesty Lord Blaster he has in his hand.
力を貸してスキル発動ヴァンガードにアタックファーストチェックセカンドチェックダメージチェック
Oh, and a heal trigger, but it doesn't go off again. So now they're tied 4-4-4.
スタンド&ドロー頼んだよアタックヴァンガードにアタックファーストチェックドロートリガー
Mr. Timeleap going in for the lethal blow, however there's a Sentinel to guard it.
スタンド&ドロースキル発動お願いコール
TZ calling his
リアガードにアタック
Palamedes and Blaster Dark.
ヴァンガードにアタックファーストチェック
And another heal trigger for TZ111. Followed by a draw trigger. But a Sentinel to guard against the attack.
ヴァンガードにアタックダメージチェックドロートリガー
Mr. Timeleap now put on to 5 damage, however he did get another draw trigger.
スキル発動
So Mr. Timeleap is not short on attackers right now.
お願いスキル発動
Playing the Blaster Blade to get rid of the Palamedes
頼んだよ
while calling his own.
リアガードにアタックヴァンガードにアタック
This move seems pretty familiar.
セカンドチェック
However, this time he does not have a Sentinel to guard against that
ダ
attack
メージチ
though.
ェック
But he did get a Sentinel to 2D damage.
スタンド&ドロー来て
TZ choosing Blaster Blade to retire. Mr. Timeleap Blaster Blade, this could be trouble.
力を
Seeing as Mr. Timeleap is at 5 damage and with only 2 Sentinels, while TZ111 has 3 attackers. So he does need to bank on getting at least 1 heal trigger.
アタック
There's a block for his first attack.
ヴァンガードにアタック
There's a Sentinel for his second attack.
ヴァンガードにアタック
And there is the second usage of Majesty Lord Blaster's skill for the style points.
セカンドチェック
Is Mr. Timeleap getting the heal trigger?
ダメージチェック
He is not. And that is the game. With a score of 2-1, TZ111 takes 3rd place in our Vanguard ZERO Content Creator Invitationals.